Okay, so this is cool. I'm Mara Davis, along with my in-studio guest, Stephen McQueen.
Yes. How you doing?
Nice to see you today. Thanks for coming by.
It's good to be here. Nice warm day outside. Got to roll into the office here.
Okay, so let's back it up for a second. You are Steve McQueen's grandson.
Yes.
What's that like, growing up in the shadow of one of the biggest movie stars of all time, maybe?
Oh, he passed away 1980, and I was born 88. So unfortunately, I never got to meet him. But watching all his movies and stuff kind of, definitely helped inspire certain dreams of mine, and put a little competitive spirit, I feel, in me that I wanted to kind of do different roles than he would and kind of march my own path so I can pull my way out of that shadow.
Interesting. Competitive, so you want to do better or more?
I mean, not so much better, but just kind of have my path that I walk.
Okay.
Know? And, I kind of played sports growing up, too, so I've always had that competitive nature where I'm like, I'm going to pull my way out of that shadow and make a shadow of my own.
Okay, well, because that's the thing, that's a tough thing. Certain people maybe different with like Bob Dylan or Jacob Dylan, you want
actually.
But at the same time, you're still under this umbrella of this huge icon.
Oh, yeah, of course, which is, it's great. It definitely presents great opportunities and stuff. But, that competitive nature in me sparks up, and I'm going to take over.
Okay. Do you think that helped you breaking into Hollywood?
I think it definitely opened certain doors,
Because you could have changed your name to, Joseph Goldberg.
I could have done that. I figured, the name I was born with was, the name I was going to stick with, though. And, my mom got remarried, so I kind of added the R on film credits, Stephen R. McQueen, out of respect for my stepdad. And, I just figured it was my name. So
okay, let's talk about the movie, because right. I'm not going to lie, I haven't seen the movie, but I watched the trailer.
Yeah.
And this looks like it's an awesome thrill ride, I bet.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a blast. It's going back to the old scary movies where you laugh at certain points,
right?
And you scream at others. And Alex Aja, our director, is used to intense horror at all times. It's fast paced, and for him, he was like a kid in a playground when he got to add a new element to it, a new level of humor to it. Kind of almost make fun of the situation, but also fear it. It's good, and we came up with this great end product that ended up being like somewhere in between Jaws and Snakes on a Plane.
That makes me want to run out and see it immediately.
I mean, it's fun, man. It's a good time. It was funny too being at Comic-Con because I was there for the show and for Piranha 3D, and it's just complete different audiences. Vampire Diaries is very much teenage girls and stuff like that, and then you go to Piranha where it's like an older cult following,
a bunch of nerdy guys.
No, I mean, because I'm wearing a Batman shirt right now. I'm not exactly cool. Like, it was cool to be able to see the different groups that were able to entertain with different projects.
Okay. Now you get back to Vampire Diaries, which is shot here in Atlanta, which is really cool. So you're living here part time or full time?
Oh, I live here full time now.
Great.
Me, my dog, and my car just drove on up from LA over 4th of July.
Are you single?
I'm newly single, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm a little heartbroken.
Seriously, how many chicks do you get? Look at you. You're an actor. You're good looking. You're Steve McQueen's grandson. I don't think you're having any problems in the lady department.
Are you trying to get my number right now?
No. I mean, believe me, I just think someone like you're at the time of your life. This is this is your day in the sun, Steven.
I take the work serious when I'm working, and when I'm not, I enjoy my life.
I was gonna say, if I were you, like if I could be like in your, I would just be do it.
I mean, of course.
Everything. I think you're just like in the prime. That's so fantastic.
Yeah, and I definitely I have a good time, but I'm trying to set up the future too. So I make sure that I work just as hard to kind of set up future opportunities, because I don't want this to be, the show has blown up, but I try to stay blind to the hype of everything and just making it about the work right now.
Okay.
I'm really enjoying that.
Okay, so Vampire
But
Diaries.
yes, I'm also a big
Yeah, making about the work. But my number is ladies, bring it on. So, Vampire Diaries, this whole vampire obsession. People are so into this. Were you a vampire fan before you got on that show?
Oh no, not so much. Like I respect it and I enjoy the mythology behind vampires, but I'm more of a fan of the Gary Oldman's Dracula or Dusk Till Dawn. I think is a fun one. The new wave kind of adds a level of romance, which I think is very enjoyable. It's just not my type of.
Okay. Okay, so you're not a True Blood fan, or?
I mean, I think again, all the actors are very great on it, and they paint a picture very well.
Fair
it's
enough.
just
Okay.
not. I'm more of a Sons of Anarchy kind of fan.
Yeah. So now that you've had some time in Hollywood, you're how old?
22.
22. So you're just you are fresh. You've got a whole career left in you. Gosh, I envy you.
I hope so.
Okay, so have you met some celebrities that you've been starstruck by or worked with people?
Yeah, I've worked with a lot of people that, I've been very lucky in that regard. I've got to work with James Gandolfini, Lou Gossett Jr., Joe Mantegna, Jerry
Tell me about
Richard Dreyfuss.
Cool. James Gandolfini, is he like Tony Soprano or is it?
He's a very, I learned a lot from him. He's a very admirable actor. He's a very intimidating force. But adds a level of sincerity to fear. It's just an interesting talent, and he's able to tell a story really well. So,
but he's intense.
Oh yeah. He takes the work very serious.
Sounds like it.
But to have the level of work that he has had and stuff, you have to put that game face on, and I respect him very much, and I feel like I learn a lot through watching him.
Well, that's very cool. And Elizabeth Shue is in the movie.
Oh yeah,
Piranha 3D. Love her.
She's just in a cool. And she worked with my dad back in the day on Karate Kid, and she just had dirt on my dad, and my dad had dirt on her, and they just gave me great stories. And she's just all around a good-hearted person.
Well, I was reading an interview with her recently, as far as why she would be in this campy thriller, and here she's an Oscar-nominated actress, and she just seems to have a really good sense of humor and a good perspective on it.
That was the best thing. I mean, we had Richard Dreyfuss, Ving Rhames, like all these people. You hear the title and you're just like,
Piranha 3D.
But between the director and the actors they had on it, and just embracing the old-fashioned scary movies where you go and you laugh and you're scared at certain points, and it has this basis of a family. It's just all around a fun movie. I mean, definitely not for the kids, but if you go out to see a movie with your buddies, it's definitely the one to go see.
Okay, now do you see fish now? Like if you would go to the Georgia Aquarium, are you a little concerned in the piranha aisle?
I was always scared of sharks. Like after I saw Jaws for the first time, I wouldn't sit on the toilet for a little bit. But I surf. I'm not gonna let anything scare me away from the water.
Okay.
I'm out at Lake Lanier like every other day.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So, but what if are you scared of just schools of ladies screaming your name and throwing panties at you?
Terrified.
Stephen McQueen, it is so nice to meet you. The movie's Piranha 3D. You are just lovelier than ever. Wish you great success.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you know what I like about you is I can tell that you're very serious about the acting.
Yes. And from it, there's Oscar buzz about Piranha 3D.
And you know what? We will endorse that wholeheartedly. Nice to meet you.
All right, cool.